They bout to look at the shit that I'm on, why don't we get in topic? Crew looking like Pentatonics, locked in, recording in tropics. In the East Big 3, Big Bronzy B, way good, he working on optics. Thought biz while smoking exotics, we lit, never thought about it. Just live out the look at the shit that I'm on, why don't we get in topics? Sitting way back, all black, I'm talking, feeling like Shaq, I weigh my options. In the East Big 3, Big Bronzy B, way good, he working on optics. Thought biz while smoking exotics, it's saucy all the project. It's saucy.
What's up, RCR Presents, MSD Sports, and we back at it for another episode, and let's get it. My name is Sam, also known as Bobby K, and we got Mikey over here, and we got Camden David over here, and let's go, episode 34, Mikey, introduce yourself, Mikey, introduce yourself.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy Michael John with MSD Sports, and tonight I'm coming at y'all all business. I'm ready to talk about sports. We hitting on every cylinder. We firing. Camden Lee's up next. You already know what's good.
Yes, sir, Camden Lee. Yes, sir. What's up?
What's going on? You know what it is. It's your boy Camden Lee, a.k.a. Mr. Club Paradise. I'm with the greatest trio ever assembled, MSD Sports. We got a big night tonight. It's episode 34. Bobby K, I heard the agenda is long and big this year. What's the situation? No Diddy.
Yes, you both are right. We gonna hit every cylinder today. We gonna try. Hear us out. Agenda. MLB. It was a wild weekend this weekend. Yankee Red Sox at the Bronx. We gonna talk about it. NBA Finals Game 1 and 2. Woo, those games. Let's talk about it too. Tennis. We got some wild games here. We got some history games I'm hearing here from in pre-meeting. You know, let's talk about it. NFL. We got a few players that got new teams, so we gonna talk about that too. And we gonna wrap it up with UFC 316. So let's go, guys. I'm so excited. Can't wait. Let's go. Starting off with the Yankee Red Sox series this weekend. And if you guys, listeners and viewers, haven't watched, the Red Sox take the series 2-1 away at New York at Yankee Stadium. And guys, let's talk about it. How'd you guys feel?
Guys, I mean, pre-meeting, you already know I have my nice little Red Sox jacket. Shout out to the Sox. I mean, it was a great weekend. I felt like we could have went 3 for 3, but one of the boys I know Michael John will talk about later. Had a little bit of a situation in the first couple innings. But, I mean, I was really excited. I felt like, my boy Devers really was able to deliver something special this past weekend. He kind of reached the Red Sox milestone in terms of one of the fastest few to 115 in terms of home runs in a short period of time in terms of games. So, he's really showing that, hey, as a Red Sox, he's really doing his thing. Beating the Yankees, sorry, YBK, is always a great situation for your boy. You guys are going to be coming to us this coming up weekend, so we'll see how that goes. Michael John, how are we feeling about this Red Sox not necessarily victory, but we beat this homestand or this away stand. We did a little something. How you feeling?
It's a step in the right direction. I'm not going to let this live down. I swear, bro. Walker Buehler, man. I swear, bro. Like, two innings, bro, and giving up all those runs. And I ain't going to sit here and hate, Garrett Crochet, who's been our bona fide ace, gave up 5 runs over 6 innings, but 5 runs. And, that's the most runs he's given up all year. Buehler, you ain't even go to pitching class. Buehler, this fool. Besides that, though, Devi, hot as a mug, huh? He's hot as a steaming mug of green tea, bro, at the end of a nice sushi meal. So I gotta say, big respect to him. And I felt like Dobbins had a great had a great start too. So shout out to the bullpen. The bullpen pitched pretty well this whole time. But Judge is going crazy, Sam. Why don't you tell me about your squad a little bit? Because Judge is continuing to go insane.
Buck wow.
Aaron Judge, indeed, our captain, has been going bonkers. I mean, he hit 2 home runs last game, even though we lost. But, I mean, I'll talk about kind of like the series, what happened and how I felt. I mean, we did win on Friday, score of 9-6, I think. We did score a lot in the early innings against Buehler. But it kind of felt like a loss on this one, too. Yankees pitching this series hasn't been performing at all. starting from the starters, like, with Will Warren, and then we got, what's his name? Who pitched Ryan Yarbrough, and then we got Carlos Rodon, who them three were great pitchers before their stand this series. And I mean, even the bullpen too, there were mistakes here that were given from the bullpen, and that's what we need right now. I feel like in terms of help, we need to sign someone ASAP because Luke Weaver, our closer, is out with a grade 2 hamstring strain. He's out 4 to 6 weeks, guys. So that's a big hole in our bullpen. And as a leader of the bullpen, we need him back, and we need to sign someone to maintain this bullpen. Because I mean, you can't just give 2 runs here, 2 runs there. After a starter that gave up 4 runs. That's like already 6 or 8 runs. So, Yankees pitching was definitely very underwhelming here. Definitely bullpen needs help. But yeah, kudos to the Red Sox. So I kind of summarize it as the Red Sox kind of swept us this series, kind of showed the world that the Red Sox aren't dead. And man, Devers is going off. This man is continuing to hit. But I mean, y'all, even though y'all's like, you have what? A 32-35 record right now.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all have your prospect coming up who got called up today, I think, in the lineup, who looking pretty good in AAA. So, it's very, it's not early, but at least it's not before the All-Star. We have a month. We have this month of June here to kind of, have some nice summer baseball here where the weather's warmer now. So, it's a big up trajectory for the Red Sox for you guys.
Yeah.
It's not going to hold. I'll say this. The reason why this series was so good, if we're going to talk about the series as a whole, is there's over 50 runs in 3 games. So it's fun if you like to see balls get hit. Pause. It was a really good series, but the Red Sox can't pitch, bro, for their life, and that's what concerns me. Like, Crochet is leading the league in strikeouts, and he is a 6-4 record with a 2.3 something because they never hit for him. This game they did hit for him, so I was glad because they usually don't bail him out when he has like a not so great. You know what I mean? It feels like it's like a Paul Skeens effect. You know what I mean? When you got your nastiest pitcher out there, the bats fall asleep a little bit. I'm just concerned. I'm going to say through 67 games, it's like a contest of who can be the most mid team with the Red Sox is what it feels like to me. And so that's where I'm at. Bregman needs to come back because he was having a great year. We need one more pitcher to somehow fall into the fray. I don't know if it's going to continue to be him because he had a great performance against a really great hitting team that the Yankees is. I love your outlook, Sam, that it's on the up, but I'm not going to lie, through 67 games, I'm concerned. My concern level is relatively high.
Well, I think the thing that I do understand what you're saying, Mikey, in terms of just we thought there was going to be, being 3 games below 500. We didn't think that was going to be the expectation coming into the season, especially after the offseason that we had. But we kind of talked about this in previous episodes, especially before the season started. We have a lot of guys who are a little bit longer in the tooth. You know what I mean? We do have some guys who are kind of getting some continuity. And I do feel like that bullpen is something that we tried to address, but we really, were late to the party in terms of that. Being 4.5 games out of first place with the trash effort that we had midway through the season, I feel okay. You know what I mean? I feel like this weekend really showed a couple things. When the rubber meets the road and those primetime games show up, those players are going to play. So I think that experience matters. I think it's our next time kind of seeing the Yankees. So again, we're in the kind of the second phase of seeing our conference kind of going through, you know what I mean? So the pitching staff and things like that, we're able to see, and multiple starts of guys. So I would say let's wait until, mid-season. Like I said, All-Star weekend. I think we'll really have a really good grasp of where we're at. And I think if we can stay in second place, stay under 5 games, behind, the Yankees stay semi-close, I feel pretty okay. YBK, I do have a question for you. When it came to the Yankees this weekend, the bats came through. Did you feel as though this offseason, this is what you expected kind of coming in terms of your pitching? and you're hoping to maybe possibly tighten that up later this year.
So yeah, that and before the season started, that was our main concern. We found out that Cole will be out for the season. We definitely knew that starting pitching would be a problem, but surprisingly, the month of like May, our starters have been really good. Really, really good. With the addition with Ryan Yarbrough, who was in the bullpen, kind of stepped up for us when Marcus Stroman went down. He's been showing light. Rodon has been proven himself that he's an ace. Max Fried himself was showing himself that he's an ace. So it was good. But when the Dodger series happened and this series happened, these back-to-back series, is something about the starting rotation. The pitching was just poor. So
Mm.
I just hope that just these two series that our rotation wasn't feeling good, and it kind of reflected on the bullpen too. So I like that we had an off day today as a travel day and go to Kansas City. I know that Kansas City's not doing as well as last year with Bobby Witt also not as performing as his batting champion year. Um, we'll see there in that series. But I want to one thing shout out somebody in your team, guys, in the Red Sox. Who was a former Yankee. Carlos Navarez has proven himself that he is contending for the American League Rookie of the Year award, guys. Your catcher, this catcher, it's been what you said, 60-something games. He is on a 282 batting average, 6 home runs, 22 RBIs, and 820 OPS, and he's on pace. I feel like for a Rookie of the Year. So I mean, he's been stepping up with that nice 300 home run he had in the Yankee Stadium. Yeah, I heard from the ESPN announcer saying like Yankees had a surplus of catchers, so we just had to get rid of Navarez, and you guys picked him up, and he's proven himself. These players who've been like thrown around, like there's at times where it's like they kind of like put the gas in the pedal, but like nah, like this is not who I am. Like I'll show you, and I feel like he's trying to prove to the world that he's not that guy. He is
Yeah.
him.
He's taking the spot away from Connor Wong too, because Connor Wong had a good year last year, but his bat has been atrocious um this year so far when we have seen him in.
Yeah.
So I will say
Yeah.
one fact I want to tell you why about the Red Sox as my last thought on the Red Sox right now is that in one run games, we're 6-17. So out of 23 games that have finished by one run, we've won six of them. Like I'm
Damn.
not concerned when we put up 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 runs. It's the closer games that concern me more, and that's why like it comes down to pitching for me. But maybe another big bad addition, like you shouted him out earlier, Sam. We called up someone earlier. What's his name? I gotta find his name real quick. We called up this kid. He hit a 500 yard or 500-foot grand slam, 497.
Roman
He
Anthony.
Roman Anthony.
I'm
And so
telling
they
you,
said, bro, they was like, damn, like we don't even know what position he gonna play. Like we have all these people injured. Like Williard just went to the 10-day
Oh,
injured
yep,
list.
yep.
So it's like, okay, we'll stick him in over there in the outfield for now. But like, where's everyone gonna go? So, but I guess that's a bright spot. I'm gonna try to see both sides of it.
Yeah.
continuity is a big issue. Big
Yeah.
issue for the Sox.
Did you guys see that? Big shout out to what's his name, Hunter Dobbins. He made his first career start against the New York Yankees, and he says right before the game, kind of little like trash talk here. He goes, "My dad was a diehard Red Sox fan. As I said it before, that if the Yankees were the last team to give me a contract, I'd retire." And then it's funny. It's funny, a little spark here, and then Jazz Chisholm tweeted back saying, "I think there should be more trash talk in baseball. Anyone agrees? Anyway, free smoke at 7." You know what I mean? So it's like, it was like that rivalry spark, which kind of Yankee Red Sox kind of needed because the rivalry kind of it went down from like the early 2000s, the late 90s. So it was cool to see that. It was cool to see that back and forth going, and I loved how the captain, he hit that home run. And we lost the game, but I love that when Judge hit him, got him deep in the first inning. It's like, welcome to the show. How'd you guys
Yeah,
feel about that?
I mean, I think the chirping in baseball is always something that's needed. I think it brings an extra dimension to the game. I think it brings excitement, it brings emotion, which I think especially on a slow burn, I mean, in terms of how baseball is, I think it's always great to have a little bit of excitement. And I mean, Red Sox Yankees rivalry is it's must see TV. That's why we're talking about it right now. So it's always great.
Love it. Love it. I mean, baseball. We're getting close to that trade deadline, that All-Star game, that home run derby time. You know, I get excited for that home run derby. I think the voting has started, guys. All-Star
What?
voting has been started. I think you can
Okay.
definitely go vote to your favorite players. And in a few episodes, I think we're gonna have to have our MSD MLB 2025 individual All-Star AL NL teams. You know, we should definitely kind of open that to our people and listeners here. But yeah, it's gonna be in July 15th in Atlanta this time,
Okay.
Truist Park, and we'll see AL NL. You know, the best of the best. You know, it's one of the coolest times of baseball. So yeah,
Hot Atlanta. All-Star weekend. Hot Atlanta.
Atlanta,
Hot Atlanta.
Atlanta.
The ball should be moving quickly. So, you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
it's
All right.
already almost halfway point of MLB, guys.
I tell you. Man.
Yeah.
Any surprises? You guys feeling okay? I mean, I feel like, I mean, we kind of knew we were gonna be 1-2. I'm surprised that we're two, but 4.5 games. It's not tough. It's not tough.
Yeah, I'm just happy to be just number one right now. Just chilling. We're chilling right
Hmm.
now. Just keep it up. Keep it up. I mean, Judge is having an outstanding season, guys. Like, he's almost having it better than last year. It's weird because when he had his home run record season in 2022 or three, and then the next season it just felt like it was better than the other. It's like, oh, we're comparing it, but it's better. It's like, oh man, he's projected to be better than last season. But I feel like now this season is like, guys, he's batting a 396.
And look, aging like fine wine, baby.
Like
I don't,
it's
I don't
crazy.
know.
So I
I don't know
just,
what to
just,
tell you.
just I mean, you 33, Judge. You exactly where your prime is right now. Continue your success.
He's
You keep
33.
going.
Judge is 33.
Yeah, he's 33.
Dang, I feel like he was younger. Is it
Yeah,
just me?
he started a little late. He started a little
Okay.
late.
I was
So
gonna say I felt like he's been in the league for a minute. 33.
yeah,
Dang.
I
Okay.
know, I
All
know.
right. He is in the prime then. Yeah, this is
Yeah, so
it.
this is exactly like maybe like 1, 2 more years of like
Yeah,
greatness.
makes
So
sense.
you
Yeah,
just
this
keep
makes
it
sense.
up. You know, man. The man hit that 400. If you hit a 400 in the season with the home runs, damn, what are you
That's
better than Barry
that's
Bonds? Like,
unanimous right there. That's
that's
unanimous.
yeah,
Right
keep it
there.
up. That's all I'm gonna
Mm,
say. Yeah,
mm.
let's get it.
Listen, speaking of MVP, okay. I mean, we're gonna jump to the next John. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna jump to the next segment. Speaking of MVP, the Oklahoma City Thunder, okay, versus the Indianapolis Pacers, okay, Indiana Pacers. Guys, are you watching this series? I feel like we've had the tale of two games in this last situation. I mean, we got game one, okay. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just me. I don't know if it's the media. I don't know if it's because they've been playing in non-primetime games that we have not seen this man. But Halliburton, Tyrese Halliburton, hits a game winner to defeat the Oklahoma City Thunder 111 to 110. Did you guys see that game? And is Hallie now with 4 game winners during this playoff series? Is he the most clutch player that we've seen in the last, I don't know, 10 years?
Yeah, yeah,
He might be. I mean, with that many game winners, it's a team effort for sure, but it's an individual effort when it's not just one of those game winners. When it becomes two, three, and then four, that's crazy. That's what it is. It's almost like you expect it now, though. It's gotten to that point.
yep.
I mean, sorry, YBK, what were you about to say?
So Tyrese Halliburton, he finishes in the clutch shots. He's 13 for 15 on go-ahead or game-tying shots in the regular season and playoffs combined. So this man is almost perfect in these clutch shots. And I mean, and also in that game one game, guys, the Indiana Pacers are the only team in NBA history to be down 7+ points with less than 3 minutes left in the game, and they won that game, guys.
Mm,
So yeah, that game one was magical.
Finals game.
In the finals game, yeah.
finals
Yeah.
game, yeah.
Yeah.
Finals game.
Crazy. Crazy.
You have to play a full 48 minutes against them, which is what, that's what it's going to require, which the Thunder are very well capable of delivering. But you really need to play a full 48 minutes. And it's funny because I'm watching and my wife is like, hey, like, let me know if the game goes to overtime. And I'm like, because it's getting down to the last few minutes. I'm like, okay, I'll let you know. And it's funny because you can't count out the Pacers. And at that point, they was down from 15. They had like a little 7-0 run and cut it to 8.
Yeah.
And even she's like, she knows ball, but she don't know it like that. But even she knew, like, let me know if this one goes to overtime. Like she knew, like the Pacers is right there in striking distance. We've seen it happen. So you got to keep your foot on the gas. What I really liked about Game One was the pieces that contributed. Because I remember Camden, you was talking about, can Obi Toppin be someone like, do I trust this guy to help? Can it be Mathurin? Can it be this? Shockingly, it wasn't like Hallie carried them that game.
Yeah.
It was actually in the fourth quarter, bro. Obi came up clutch. He went like 4 for 5 from three in the whole game, but he came up clutch with a couple big shots. Pascal Siakam, they figured out how to move the ball because they was getting stifled. Let's talk about the first half tying the record for the amount of turnovers, most amount of turnovers in a first half. 20 turnovers in the first half. And Oklahoma City couldn't close the door on them because that game should have been a
Over.
blowout.
Yeah.
This
Over.
should have been a blowout. It shouldn't have been a 15-point lead. Only in the fourth, it should have been at 30 points, and you don't give this one away. But you got to shout out a lot of these dudes. Like Siakam did his thing. He hit a couple big shots. They started moving the ball. They started penetrating. And let's not forget Andrew Nemhard pulling the bag out of nowhere
That
on
man.
like dudes like SGA and Dort, who are great defenders, pulling the bag out. Hezzy, cross, step back three. I'm like, who does Nemhard think he is, bro, in the playoffs? Where the hell is this all-star performances coming from? So I felt like it was a really good team effort the whole way through. And I know you had your eye on Miles Turner too, as well,
I
Camden.
did, I did, I did, I did, big time. I felt like two things. I mean, I didn't think Obi was gonna go 4 for 5 in a three pointers. You know what I mean? I just didn't see that. I mean, at all. But I think seeing Miles Turner, especially in Game One, assert dominance during a couple of those stretches, I really was just blown away. One of the things that I've noticed and that I found out with Mathurin is that these guys all play on Team Canada. So they've been playing with each other on the off season during the World Cups, all those things like that, with each other. So I saw a couple times where SGA was trying to go and get the ticky-tack foul. Mathurin takes a step back, and SGA looks like he's just hanging in the air thinking he's going to hit somebody, and he's like, I don't know what to do. So I think it really showed two things. It showed the fact that some of these guys, some of these role players are really ballers. You feel me? Even in the playoffs, they really are going to take their time and really do their thing. And then two, it also showed me like, okay, the Pacers move with a pace that I feel like the Thunder were not ready for. And I think it took them a minute, even with all those turnovers. I think the Thunder was like, oh, wow, these guys move just as fast as we do. So Hallie still in Game One. I mean, just it changed the momentum, I think, in terms of the series, for sure, in my opinion.
Yeah, I gotta give a shout out to Obi Toppin for sure. Like those at the fourth quarter, he made 17 points. Back to what Mikey was saying, 5 for 8 on threes, 5 rebounds in 25 minutes, and yeah, what a difference maker that Obi Toppin made. And I feel like even like his presence alone now in this whole playoffs he kind of like even playing in New York too for Obi Toppin to be in an ex-Knick player as well, to be in the bench, to never even have minutes at the Knicks team, and now to be in the NBA Finals as a role player, now actually having a mark in the team. I feel like Obi's feeling it, and it's great for Indiana. So, oh yeah, big shout out to Obi Toppin.
I want to highlight something about this game and like ask, how you guys look at it because that's Game One, right?
Yeah.
A shocker for Indiana, maybe not a shocker in a lot of people's eyes. Wasn't that surprised myself? I was lit that Hallie hit another crazy off balance. He'd be taking his time. The clock be running. I'm like, yo, when is he gonna go? But he's smooth with it. That weird ass looking shot, it goes in. So my question is this: when you see Game One, Shea, you're seeing someone who's putting up 30 shots and getting, yeah, he finishes with 38 points, but on 14 of 30 shooting. It's not like terrible shooting percentage, but to me, it's like, is that gonna put the Thunder over? We want a 30-point performance, but closer to like 20 shot attempts. I think that's the magic number for SGA. You get the 20 shot attempts, but the free throw attempts break the double digit mark there, because game two felt like a whole different story. It felt like a link when you lose a game that you let get away, but you're like the better team, and you're like, we're gonna have to show you who's boss tonight because we ain't slipping up. That's what it felt like for me. And I felt like it starts with Shea, and then we'll talk about the bench, but I feel like it all starts with Shea.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
his efficiency.
yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, you taking 30 shots and only score now. If shooting 30 shots and only having 30 points is insane to me. You know what I mean? Granted, you know what I mean. He was doing his thing, but I think that really shows kind of the loss in terms of that first game one. If he was even a little bit more efficient, you know what I mean, instead of taking, or settling for those layups, trying to take fouls type still, and actually trying to go to the cup and score, they probably have that game. I think we see the opposite. I think when you look at game two, a little bit more efficient, a little bit more, less necessarily kind of taking what the defense gives him, but really going after kind of what he wanted. YBK, I mean, when you're thinking about this game too, and Shea with the mid range,
Yeah.
do you think, I mean, being the mid range assassin, do you say, hey, let's put him at the 3-point line and live and die off of Shea shooting threes? Or do you say, okay, let's let him continue to take these mid shots, and like Rick Carlisle said, he had 34 points. We're just gonna write that off. Like, that's just, it is what it is.
Yeah, I think you just have to accept that Shea's gonna drop 30 plus on you every night. That's gonna be a guarantee for that team, even when you go strategize. But going back to like game two, I want to say like OKC kind of answered back like a champion. They're like, it's like kind of when they were back 1-0 against Denver, and then they answered back. They were down 2-1 against Denver. They answered back. Um, and you even see like these role players too. Big shout out to what's his name? Like he had like 18 points. Like this Wiggins guy, Aaron Wiggins.
Aaron Wiggins, yeah.
Aaron Wiggins, and of course the role player spot with Alex Caruso, who's helping these guys succeed around them. And of course, like the leadership of Shea, like what Mikey said, I agree. Where everything falls with Shea. You know what I'm saying? Like that MVP. But I give really big shout out to Alex Caruso and how he brings that synergy and brings that chemistry, because he is a champion. He's been there, so he kind of brings that exp to all these youngins, and especially a young team like OKC. Like, way to answer back to in game two, especially at home, and show your fans that, yeah, we ain't gonna go to Indiana down 0-2 here in the series.
I think going to Indiana 0-2,
That's tough.
that's just not what we expected. I mean, we think about this series, we talked about our predictions, before this series started, and I still said, I felt like OKC in 6, and I think the biggest reason why is because we had this situation in game one. If Hallie misses that shot, or the guys play a little bit more efficient ball, or convert 4 points off of the 25 turnovers compared to only scoring 9, this game's a wash. You know what I mean? Even yesterday,
Yep.
they were up 20 points.
Yeah.
19, 18, 17, might drop to 12, but they kind of stayed their foot on the gas. It should be 2-0.
Yeah.
2-0, no issues. So,
Yeah.
I think it shows how OKC is still young. You know what I mean? And we'll really see. I think game 3 is really going to decide who's really about that life. Because if OKC loses by 20,
I won't be surprised if Indiana puts up a good game too. But when OKC wins, they win dominantly, and a 16-point win is less indicative of how that game looked. If you watched it, it didn't feel close. Like it's a 16-point game. It felt like a dominant performance, even though the number doesn't suggest that. And I'll just reiterate, Sam, it's exactly what it all starts with Shea, but Indiana is going to have to live, and I agree with you. Shea's putting up 30 a night. You cannot let Caruso and Aaron Wiggins and then a couple buckets by the other bench, then you're telling me they're scoring 40 plus off the bench.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna cut it if
Figure.
everyone on the Pacers is doing the team game where it's 11 points, 15 points, 18 points, 17 points, 14 points. It ain't gonna cut it. If Siakam goes off for a 40-point game, if Aaron Nesmith takes over for a 20-point fourth quarter, if Hallie puts up 35, 10, and 15, okay, it's a different story, but
Right.
that's not how they gonna beat Oklahoma City. So I really think that we'll have to see if they could keep stifling the bench. And also, are they going to be able to keep Chet in check? Because they've kept Chet in real check in
Yep.
2 games.
Yep. They did.
I feel like in the regular season, you see him put up 20 and 10, no problem.
Lower
And
than
he
20.
barely put up 20 and 10 in 2 games.
In
So
game 1, he scored like 4 or something like that, and then game 2
Yep.
like 15 or something like that. Yeah.
exactly. So it's like, how long you going to keep him in check, and how long before Jalen Williams decides to join Shea for the party, and instead of just putting up like a little light game, he's going to put up a nice 30-piece big. They both going to put up 30 pieces. Like one puts up a 40, the other puts 30. So
That's the scary part about
I love
OKC.
it
Like
though.
you can't over obsess over one player or one piece in that team, thinking like, oh, we bring this guy down, we gonna be fine. They have their big three too. J Dub with SGA, Chet. Let's say Chet goes down, like what you said, Mikey. J Dub can be going crazy, score 28, give you a night, along with Shea with that 35. You know, so
I'm making all the other guys shoot it. Like honestly, let Shea get like you said, David. Maybe make him force him to shoot more threes if you can. But you know how he is. He's got a nasty dribble from the top of the key, so he knows how to get to his mid range. But make these guys shoot again. Make Caruso shoot it again. Make Aaron Wiggins shoot it again. Make Lou Dort shoot threes. They ain't gonna hit it on you. I don't think so. That's where they did it in game 2. I'm not sure you can do it on the road in a raucous Indiana crowd. So
How do we
like
feel about Hallie having 4 points heading into the fourth quarter yesterday? He ended I think with 19, something like that. But you know what I mean. Him coming in, he might even had two coming into the fourth. How do we feel about the lack of aggression? I think he only took 4 shots heading into the fourth quarter yesterday.
yeah,
it's the up and down of Hallie. He's not like a pure scorer. He's more of a game manager in like a good way. Like he's
yeah.
like a game facilitator, and he should have tried to get some buckets a little earlier. I feel like, but it's hard against that defense. Tell
Yeah.
someone to go get a bucket against that defense. Just go do it, and it's
I,
gonna be hard.
I feel like Halliburton was a little too late. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like the one thing to Halliburton is finding that judgment of pass or shoot at the right time. You can't just think and just hold that ball right now in NBA Finals, especially in a young team like OKC. So as a leader of that team, you have to show that. And you're seeing the other side, like their leader, you know what I mean? Like we talked about, that's an automatic 30-piece stub. We already accepted that. So yeah, so that's what Hallie, I feel like what he has to think about in the next game 3.
Man, game 3 is on Wednesday. You know what I mean? Who are we taking? Game 3? Are we thinking it's a Pacers? They're at home and they have the adrenaline, or do we think okay, City kind of steals one? You know what I mean? Like the Pacers did.
I think OKC is gonna win game 3.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
want Indiana to win, but I just think OKC is going to win.
I agree.
I feel similar, but I think Hallie's daddy's gonna be in the building. I mean, Hallie's daddy's been in the building a little bit. But I think, you know what I'm saying? I think with dad in the building and them doing what they need to do, I feel pretty good. I think it's gonna be a close game, but I think OKC loses it, you know what I mean, by maybe like 2 or 3. I think Indy takes this last game of the series, and I think OKC closes it out with 3 straight wins after this. So
Okay. Okay.
wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't be surprised. Man. But I'm excited. Wednesday night, be able to watch a little
We'll
something,
be
Game
back
something.
to
3.
talk about that. We'll be back to talk after game
Back.
3.
We'll be back.
Yep.
We'll be back for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. Shoot, what else is going on? I know we just talked NBA. I know there's some wildness this weekend. What else happened?
Well, there's been a lot of wildness going on, but we'll jump in real quick because they call us MSD Sports, and Sam is kind of like the local pastor. He the reverend, so he gonna need to. It's perfect because we had a crazy final between Mr. Sinner and
Oh
our boy
yeah,
Carlos Alcaraz rather.
Alcaraz.
Jannik Sinner, world number one, played number two, Carlos Alcaraz at Roland Garros in the final for the French Open. They be playing on clay. I ain't no expert at tennis, but I know you play on clay when you play at the French Open. And
Mm.
boy, oh boy, was they playing because this was the second longest Grand Slam final of all time ever. 5.5 hour game. I don't know if y'all caught
Jeez,
this game,
that's a sports
heard about
game.
this game,
Damn.
caught wind of this game, but this was a bona fide classic. You don't have to be a tennis buff, you don't have to be an expert in it at all. This was just like a sports lover's dreams, bro. So, you caught wind of this match, guys?
I did see a little bit something because I was watching a little bit of the women. I heard some stuff about them, but I'm kind of looking at this box score, you know, 6-4, 7-6, so 7-5, then 4-6, then 6-7, then 6-7. Those 6-7s, those are close. This is not a, oh, like you got to win by two. So it's not an easy situation.
Yep.
And I think looking at Sinner looked like he was like, oh, I got this in the bag. And then he went on a marathon spree because he couldn't defeat the boy Alcaraz. I'm surprised. Maybe we had a little something wearing off. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I have a quick question here. I'm sorry for the listeners here, and the viewers. We don't really have a share screen here. If you guys look at the Google box score, what is the exponent
Yeah.
on the score?
That means that set went to a tiebreaker. So
Like
the way
deuce?
you earn points
Right.
is you have to win 6 games,
The
right?
15,
Like,
30, 40, and then you win, right?
And
That's
yeah, you
one.
get a exactly. So like, but the reason why it's 6-4 in the first set for Sinner,
Yeah.
right, is because he won 6 games, which is like he means you've won 4 points,
Right.
right? You get
Right.
15, 30, and then you go to 40. If if I get the next point, then I get 1 point. And then it goes to six, unless we both are sitting on five already. Then you have to win. If I'm at six and you're at five, you're gonna have to give me a chance to rebuttal basically so I can get to six. And then if we're both at six, it's a tiebreaker. So those exponent numbers that you're seeing, Sam, means that he won in 7 points on the tiebreaker. Um,
Oh.
exactly. Like, and
Oh,
Alcaraz had
I
won
see, I see,
four
I see, I
points,
see.
but
For
exactly, like you play a set amount of points, whoever wins most amount of points in a tiebreaker.
gotcha.
So all
Interesting.
all that is to say to the people who are listening and to you, Sam, if you're not like super familiar, is that this was like close sets, right? But
Yeah.
Sinner edged those first two, and then Alcaraz he took the third set. But if you look at the fourth set, right, Sinner had a chance because it went to a tiebreaker.
Yep.
Sinner had a chance. He was up 40 to love. He needed one more point to win the tournament at
Win
that
it.
point.
Win
And
it.
he
Win
was
it.
up 2 sets to 1, 3 match points consecutively. This is it's the first time any male player has ever overcome 3 match points in a French Open final. The live betting odds for Carlos Alcaraz on DraftKings, the highest they became in that moment, plus 6,500. Plus 6,500.
What?
That's how insane the odds was
Yo,
that he was
fam.
that he was cooked,
Even
bro.
if you put $1 on that, that's a come up real quick. Just a
That's
quick,
easy.
it's a quick dollar, $10, $100.
Yeah,
Ooh!
$10 for you. $10. He said, here's $650 for that.
650 up.
That's
Wow.
crazy, bro. I mean, and that's also the first time that Alcaraz has ever won when he went down 0-2. It's also the first time that Sinner has ever blown a 2-0 lead. Or no, it's not the first time. Sorry. I saw a stat that said he blew one in Wimbledon.
This is
But
the second time.
But I will say it's very interesting to me because Sinner, we talked about him a couple months ago. We talked about the PED scandal, the fact that they lowered his suspension sentence to 3 months because they said it
Oh
wasn't his fault.
yeah.
The trainer or the masseuse was using the cream and shouldn't have had this certain steroidal active thing in it, trace amounts. To me, it's crazy because Alcaraz has been whooping him. That's like the fifth time in a row that Alcaraz has beaten Sinner, and Sinner yet is still above him in the world rankings because Sinner has kind of accrued more experience, victories, tournaments, but Alcaraz has more career majors than him, etc. All of these cool numbers and stats to say. I remember the days when Rafael Nadal, Roger Federer, and then when Djokovic came to the scene. But it was like them two was the big ones. Like it made tennis fun. I used to be like, yo, I'm kind of interested in tennis.
Mm-hmm.
These guys, it looks like is going to be the next ones. It didn't come from someone born in the 90s. It's all the way jumped to the 2000s because they're like early 20s. So
Hmm.
it's crazy because we kind of bypassed that whole generation because Nadal retired,
Nadal.
Federer retired, Djokovic got knocked out in the semifinals and is 38 years old. He's getting so it's just interesting to me that like maybe these guys, keep them in the back of your mind. They might be the next stars.
How do we feel about Sinner coming off of this 3 month suspension, right, and still almost, getting to the brink? You know what I mean? How does it? Do you feel like if the man wasn't suspended, he might have been a little bit more on top of his game, or do we feel like the PEDs wore off a little bit and he deserved the loss?
Well, he played one tournament last month
Okay.
in May. And you want to know what happened? He
What
played
happened?
in the Italian Open, which is not a major, so you don't play as many sets. But he met Carlos Alcaraz in the final, and he lost in 2 sets. He lost the first
Oh
set on a
wow.
7-5 tiebreaker, and he lost the second set 6-1. So I know that boy Alcaraz, bro. But it's like when you really pushing each other.
Yeah.
So it's like he's just almost over the edge, but this young bull
Do you
refuses.
do you think Alcaraz is just like, listen, I'm about these big Johns. I'm not really caring about these little baby points things that kind of gets me, up in the standings and stuff. Because as long as I win the majors, like I don't care, and as long as I have your number center, I don't care. Man, crazy,
I
crazy work.
kind of feel like that a little bit.
Wow.
Crazy work, crazy work. On the women, I want to talk a little bit. I know we were talking about the fellas just now. On the women, what I mean, my homegirl, my shorty, Coco Golf, she won a little something. She won her finals, and what I mean, in the same spot. On Saturday, she lost the first set 7-6, but then ended up winning 6-2, 6-4. She played Sablanka. And Miss Blanca had a little bit to say about Coco after the match. Usually right after they get off the thing, they have a little press conference. So it's not like they have a little time to kind of think about what they're saying. She said, Coco really didn't play that well. I just played so bad. I just didn't play my best. I just didn't play my butt. Coco said, "Listen, I've had your number a couple times. This is not the first time I beat you, and it's not gonna be the last." Um, there are a lot of people were trying to make this a race thing, what I mean, black versus white, you know what I mean, and things like that. In my opinion, I think it was more of a change of the guard situation. Coco's a young lady, you know what I mean? She hasn't even reached her prime. Sablanka has been in the game for a minute, and I think she was really upset that a young shorty came and started taking the reins. So, kind of different from the men's. The men's is looks like we're gonna have a two-headed classic on our hands for the next couple of years. For the women, it looks like Coco Golf is starting to take off. So I'm really excited about that. I just want to shout her out real quick before we head out to the next segment.
Yeah, I will say shout out to Coco Gauff because she's 21, and she young, but Sabalenka's young too. She's 27 and she's ranked higher too. So she is like it's kind of like the same how in the other final, like the person ranked higher actually didn't win. And it don't always work that way. It's like in golf. You could be the number one ranked and it don't always you're not in golf it's even harder to win when you're that ranking. But I will say I understood like the frustration of Sabalenka from like the point of like I had 70 unforced errors and like you had half of that. So like the point is like if I have 70 unforced errors and you have 40, then like I understand when you're saying like you didn't beat me. You could say it in a more in a better way to
Yeah.
not make it so combative or like you're attacking someone else's character. And I really respect Coco Gauff for taking a high road and saying I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt. It was the heat of the moment. You don't even you make them interview. You stand on the tennis court after you lost and you have to wait there and then talk. Like in UFC, I'll talk a little bit about that later, but they come up to you. Not always does the loser stay there and talk. If it's like a high charged moment or if it's so for me, I felt like, all right, like enough of the disrespect, girl. Go out there and win next time, Sabalenka. Put your money where your mouth is. But enough of the disrespect, okay? And congrats to Coco Gauff,
Yeah.
young
We all, we
phenom.
all, we all have days where we're not mentally focused. You could say that. Hey, you know what? She had my number today. I wasn't as mentally focused as I needed to be. I gotta get my game up a little up to par. Shout out to Coco. But she wanted to throw a little shade, throw a little dig to the 21-year-old because it's not the first time she's beaten her either. So, I already know she's feeling a little salty. You know what I'm saying? Especially being close to the home ski. You know how that go. Um, but yeah, I mean, always nice to throw a little bit. We don't always talk tennis at MSD, but it's always nice to throw a little something something. We got a couple people who tune in who are always asking, "Hey, you gonna talk about what I mean the clay dirt? You gonna talk about the green grass?" So I mean, it's not just golf out here. It's not just golf, but when we talking about what we love, and we talking about the MSD, and we talking about the staple of the MSD family, you already know where I'm about to go, baby. It is NFL season. We haven't started the NFL season, but we always have some NFL notes. I told you last episode we're gonna keep sprinkling in a little NFL situation as the time progresses. And Michael John, I gotta talk to you about this situation. You know what I mean? YBK, you can always bring in the situation, but Michael John, Mr. Aaron Rodgers, has signed to the Pittsburgh Steelers for $13 million. $10 million guaranteed and up to 19.5 in incentives. He leaves the New York Jets, in which he spent 2 years after spending a decent lifetime over in Green Bay. Does this put the Pittsburgh Steelers as a playoff winning team? Do they win a playoff game with this move? What is the situation? How do we feel?
All right, I'm going to respond to this, and the viewers that are listening, or even if you're watching, you're not going to see because I just shared a quick photo. It's the photo of the Instagram picture that the Pittsburgh Steelers posted of Aaron Rodgers when he signed. I want y'all to take a look at that right now. Sam, please look at the picture of Aaron Rodgers. Camden, please look at the picture of Aaron Rodgers. You tell me that guy is going to bring you to the promised land. You look me in the face and tell me that guy is bringing you to the promised land, and I'm going to call you both liars. Get the hell out of here with this. Bro, I wish he just signed already. Ben signed and they moved on. It's like, you ain't big news anymore. Oh, listen, I don't blame the Steelers because it's better than Rudolph, right? Rudolph
Right.
the red-nosed QB. But I'm sorry. Like, look at him. It don't do it for me, bro. Like, he looked like a nice guy that you run into when you on vacation and like you on like the resort style vacation and you're like, yo, that dude's nasty at playing pickup ball. Like, that's what he's given for me right now. But
Oh
hey,
my
I hope he
God.
succeeds. He didn't have a bad year last year. All that clowning and joking aside, he had a decent year last year, but he also had Garrett Wilson, Brees Hall, a decent offensive line. Lazard came in to play with him in a system he knows. Randall Cobb came in to play with him in a system he knows. Let's see. He's got DK Metcalf. He's got Pat Fryermuth. Does not have Pickens because Pickens got traded, right?
Correct.
So
Uh-huh.
we'll see. Who's the number two? I don't even know who their number two is right now, actually.
It says number 2 is Robert Woods.
Okay,
Robert
that's actually
Woods
not
from
bad.
LA.
Yeah.
He's older now, but
Okay. Okay.
One thing
you talk to me, Sam.
One thing is like this. It's great that the Steelers have their quarterback now, but one thing I want to say on this trade, I mean this signing is Aaron Rodgers is 42 years old, guys.
Oh, then.
That's all I'm going to say. He's one sack away from retirement, guys. I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know if he's worth that. Like, I guess it is worth because he got paid like 35 million from the Jets last season, and then his salary now is 13 million. He can get paid to 19. You said, David, with the incentives, but like,
Yep.
I guess it's a discount. But like, man, this man's 42. That's all I can say. Like, and DK, I want to say something to DK Metcalf on like, hey, like him saying like, oh, I want to join a playoff team. Does this look like a playoff team? Like, I'm looking at the team, I'm like, I don't think an offense with DK, Robert Woods, and Jalen Warren as your running back one, and Pat Freiermuth for your tight end is gonna take you to the playoffs. I'm so sorry.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
Jalen Warren, I think, keep an eye on him this year.
Oh, really? Really?
I think so. I think that he's been. I think he's gotten better.
Okay.
Right. I think he's earned up to that starting spot, and he's a good pass catcher too. He's a decent pass catcher as well. You could talk to Bryce about that, but I laugh with Bryce. I said to Bryce, who's our homie, shout out to being Drizzy, shout out to Driz. I was saying to Bryce that like the Pats and the Steelers are competing for who's the most mid this year. Because like I know the Pats fueled up and got better, but I feel like these two teams are not juggernauts. They're just like better than bad.
I see what you mean.
Hence, who will win the award for most mid this year?
And I think that's the thing is like for the Pats, we were 3-14, team the other year. You know what I mean? So it's not as though like we are this momentous team that's really barely making the playoffs. At the end of the day, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers who continue to be 9-8 and continue to make the playoffs, getting these middle of the road draft picks. How are you going to get a top 5 quarterback in the draft if you keep drafting 20, 17, 18, 22? Make it make sense. I mean, I just feel like you said, Mikey, how mid can we go? And, for me, I ain't like smoking on that mid pack, but at least the Pats, at least they on the come up. Whereas, I feel like I can't even do what I got to do with this boy, Roger.
They selling tickets at least. It is a business. At the end of the day, my big respect is as a business, you got to sell tickets.
And I mean, they hit a lick signing this man for $10 million after last year it was for 35. So
it's not bad. I will say it's not that much money. So
it's not terrible. Not terrible. Hit
any other intel for me? Because I know my boys always got the scoop.
Listen, there was some news that came across my desk last night, but I wasn't sure if it was actually happening. However, it was finalized earlier this afternoon. Nick Chubb, ladies and gentlemen, who played for the Cleveland Browns, former All-Pro Nick Chubb, has signed to the Houston Texans for $2.5 million guaranteed. 2.5 and up to $5 million incentives. I know that he had an injury last year. I know he didn't play a lot of the season. But $2.5 million to the Texans, I feel as though the Texans just got a little richer for very little pennies. How do we feel? Joe Mixon, Nick Chubb in the same backfield? How do we feel about that?
I like that, bro. I really like that. So now we're talking about pennies on the dollar. Pennies on the dollar. Say, I'll give you $2 million just to see if you got anything left in the tank. I don't expect him to have much left in the tank, and it's better because they still have Dameon Pierce. Don't forget about Pierce, y'all. Don't forget about Pierce. I know Mixon was the Pro Bowl, running back for them last year, but Dameon Pierce a couple years back, remember, he was kind of a hot commodity, especially in fantasy. So fast forward to last year, Mixon had a great year. Chubb for $2.5 million, beautiful. Great. I love it. Let's see if he recovers from the injury.
YBK, how do we feel?
I love it. I love it. Nick Chubb is an electric player when healthy, and definitely a difference maker when healthy. So he's 29, and I know that he's been injured. That last injury he was out for 16 to 18 weeks. So I do know that, but I do believe in sports technology. He ain't no 42 like Aaron Rodgers. He's not a sack away from retirement, and I feel like exactly what Mikey said. I love it too. I mean, it's a great young team. You know what I mean? C.J. Stroud's growing. He's only growing. They're gonna get their wide receivers back. Is Deltan coming back in the beginning of the season for the Texans?
I'm not
I know that
sure.
he's injured right now, but I don't know if he's
Right.
ready for October.
I don't know if he'll be ready for October. I think he won't be ready
I
till
mean,
next.
okay. I mean, he still has Nico, Jaden Higgins, and Christian Kirk
Yep.
that joined this season. So let's see. I love it. I love it. I'm sure CJ loves this too.
Yeah, but he got injured at the end of the year, bro. So, and you remember how
Ah,
nasty
right,
his injury is.
right. Damn.
So, just from an
Maybe that's
initial
why they
quick
signed Christian
Google,
Kirk. Maybe that's why they
Yeah,
signed Kirk
definitely,
yeah,
for a
definitely,
yeah. One of
replacement.
definitely.
the reasons why, right? I just looked it up right now because it was so bad, involving damage to ACL, MCL, LCL,
Jeez.
meniscus. Remember how bad it was? I remember
It was
seeing it.
bad. It was very
Oh
bad.
my
I would
gosh.
say you don't expect him.
Okay,
It's a
that's why they
comeback
got
like
Kirk for number two then.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Jaden Higgins, he's a rookie, of 2025 draft. Jaden Higgins, their number three wide receiver, I guess now.
yeah.
So yeah, let's see. He got three guns and two great running backs behind him.
Yeah, who can pass catch? I think that's the
Yeah.
biggest thing
Oh, you
too.
right too. Yep.
He got guys
That's
who can
very
actually
important.
catch out of the backfield. So I think it's definitely be a dynamic, looking situation for them. So I'm really excited.
Mm, I love that.
Let's do it.
I
A little
love
light NBA, a little light NFL news.
sprinkling that
Nothing
in,
crazy.
bro. I love a little NFL talk,
This is
especially
what
as
I'm
we ramp
saying.
up to the season, because I can't wait to talk fantasy, talk, divisions,
We
talk
got a lot. We got a
football.
lot. I'm looking forward to it. Don't get me too excited. Don't get me too
I know
excited.
we've hit so many things, and we gave enough that they ain't need no more. But I want to give
Mm,
them a little bit more because we just had a big pay-per-view last Saturday. We had
Okay.
UFC 316. We
mm.
saw Marab Dvalishvili in the defend his bantamweight championship against Sean O'Malley. Of course, big names. And we also saw the women's bantamweight championship being defended by Juliana Pena versus Kayla Harrison, who's been a big
Mm.
dog. She only made her way to the UFC recently, but has been in women's MMA for a hot minute. And let me just tell you, I thought this card might disappoint, but there was some fun fights. Like this one dude on the early card, nasty, hit a crazy KO, bro. Really, really clean, crazy KO. We had some up and comers that looked solid. We had some heavyweights fighting who was clashing. I'm gonna just focus here on the co-main event and the main event because I just wanted to let y'all know. Kayla Harrison is the new UFC champion. She's the new
Mm.
bantamweight champion.
Wow.
She beat Juliana Pena. Pena is a tough SOB. She's been around for a hot minute. She beat Amanda Nunes when Amanda Nunes was on that crazy streak.
Ooh.
But you know what? Kayla Harrison got the job done in a dominant fashion. And, which was very fun for the fans to see, Amanda Nunes came into the ring after. She said, call him in because Amanda Nunes been there all week. She said, I took my year off, my 2 years off. Her wife gave birth. She's got the kids. She's already the greatest of all time. But you know what? She's coming back for more. They're going to fight. So Harrison and Nunes is officially
No
lined
way.
up.
That's
Let's get this
fire.
money. Let's get this money. It's
I
been a minute
know.
since I seen Nunez. She's looking good. Okay, okay.
Yeah, exciting, right? I feel like that's a big. Her name is big enough that even as like a casual, the casuals
You
will
know,
be like, "I'm gonna watch that," right?
Yep.
mm-hmm.
A little backstory that's cool about it is that Harrison was training over at the same gym that Nunez was champion, and she was defending and training out of that gym. And Nunez left the gym not out of spite or beef or nothing, but because she knew, I think our paths will one day meet. And we need to
Mm.
we can't be training at the same gym and fight because it's like
Wow.
it's not how it's gonna work. And they're very respectful, but I love it. Great competition coming.
Gotta do it.
Wow. That's
Gotta do
amazing.
Last
it.
fight of the night was Marab Dvalishvili, the machine, and he fought Sugar Sean O'Malley.
Sean O'Malley.
You know,
Y'all know
Sugar.
Sean
You know
O'Malley,
Sean.
right?
You know
Of
Sean.
course. There's been a lot of talk. Sean O'Malley said he's not Jaying the Peen. He's not, no gooning all year. He said, I ain't gooning all year. I need to focus. He said, I ain't smoking weed. I ain't smoking weed. I'm focusing. He said, last fight, I was injured. It was still a close fight. This was going to be a different fight. This is going to
Ooh.
be a different one. No, run it back. Marab
Mm.
is an absolute beast, y'all. This guy dominated him in crazy fashion. He finished Sean with like a modified guillotine choke. Kind of looked like a Darce
Guillotine
choke,
choke.
but caught him with a crazy choke, bro. Marab is just a nut. He'll go at you. You think he can't even punch. You think he can't strike. He's starting to get better at striking. He throwing him hands, but he take you down, and he just, man, demoralizes people. They run out of energy. You got nowhere to run, and he just doesn't stop. So Marab has defended the bantamweight title yet again. And man, the sky's the limit for this dude. He's about to be the greatest of all time at his weight class if he continues at this rate.
I saw a little bit of highlights. Marab looked like a man possessed. He looked like he knew what he was doing. He looked like this man was coming in for business. Sean, what's up? What's up, man? You ain't hitting the blicky no more. You ain't doing. Come on, pimping. How you gonna recover if you ain't hitting the blicky? I know there's only a few of us who can abstain and still be great, but you know what I mean. If you've been doing it and it's been getting you this far, I don't think it's really time to stop, because back-to-back losses is just not
It's tough.
It's not in the cards, baby. It's not in the cards. That's not how you keep your sponsorships. But you know, Sean is a big face in UFC, a big personality. I know he'll be back. Hopefully he'll win a couple of more fights, so this could be a rematch. You know what I mean? Maybe in a couple months or so, we'll see what happens. But man, I think the women this summer or late fall are going to be the most exciting. I'm really excited about
the Amanda,
with Amanda.
Amanda looked good too. She still looked good. The thing that's crazy is I wonder if they're going to fight at 135 pounds, because that's where Harrison fought Pena. Y'all should have seen the way she looked like a ghost. Like when they cut weight, you have to like sweat all the water out of you, dehydrate yourself. You diet and then you dehydrate yourself. And bro, her face looked like, oh my
Skeleton,
God.
wow.
I'll show you the picture. I'll send it.
You think they bump up to 140, 143?
145 is the next title belt.
Yep.
So they could fight. There's just not a lot of women that fight at that weight. That's the thing. That's why there's not like a official like division for it no more, in a way, because there's not enough women at that weight. There's a lot of 115, 125,
that's a thick shorty at 145 trying to knock you behind out.
Yeah, because you cut weight to fight. So imagine, bro, if she's fighting at 135 is you cut to that weight, that means you're walking around at 155, 160, maybe more, 165, and then you diet when it comes up to you know what, so it's crazy.
I love it though.
UFC.
Was a really fun weekend, y'all.
It was.
Really, really fun
Oh,
weekend.
damn. Look at her.
Yeah,
I'm seeing it. Yeah, she definitely looked like she was thirsty.
Yeah, it ain't even showing her muscles there either. And for the listeners, I'm showing like what she looked like, Kayla Harrison before weight cut and after weight cut. Like, it's crazy what rehydrating does to someone. But that's why in boxing, you know how like they have like the controversy, like no, there's a rehydration clause. You can't over rehydrate because dudes be wanting the most advantages you can get. And I don't blame it. Athletes should try to get, take the most advantage. That's part of the sport.
True. Yeah.
But it is crazy. So
crazy.
All right, I won't hold y'all. I know we got some more stuff to talk about, and we got to get to a little Stanley Cup talk at some point. I know we ain't hockey buffs over here, but we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about it. But I'm gonna send this back to y'all because I think I'm tapped out.
Yes. Hockey episode. Definitely gonna have to talk about it in the next episode, along with the MLB All-Star. Whoever we think deserves the All-Star spot. But yeah, that was we just hit all them sports. We hit like 5 sports, I think, guys.
Yes, we did.
That's crazy. I like it.
That's how we do at MSD. We you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we MSD Sports,
We could go deep dive into one. We could hit a couple hot topics. That's just how we like to roll, baby. Come on, baby.
Yes, sir. Episode 34. I think it's time that we, come to a close. RCR Presents MSD Sports. My name is Sam. You can find me at YBK up in here. We got Michael John over here. You can find him at Michael John DeStefano. You got David Camden Lee over here. You can find him at Mr. Club Paradise. And you can find us, the MSD Sports crew, at RCR MSD Sports. We are on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. What is it? TikTok, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, and all the streaming platforms for the podcast. And we'll see you guys in the next pod. Peace.